Hello everybody, hope you're all doing well. Welcome back to more esports news. This is all about the OpTic topic, and yes, when I do say that, more confirmations have come out this morning about the alleged sale of that OpTic Gaming brand and the downfall, which likely is to come sometime this week. Now, I'll update you guys that in the back half of the episode. The first thing I do want to talk about that people, of course, our latest podcast brought to us by Hecz, that being the Eavesdrop podcast, will be linked down below. I highly encourage you guys to watch the entire episode. So much insight, so much information came out about the issue itself. He has actually clarified, though, through one of his vlogs on top of that, as of right now, as of today of recording, he has no idea what the future of OpTic will be with this clip right here.
I'm going to get everything out of the way right now. I'm getting out of the way. As of right now, as of this moment, I don't know. Okay? I don't know. So, let's just continue to move on. Continue to work behind the scenes and focus all of my efforts into one very specific project without having to, be distracted by the vlog, which is not.
But I wanted to take this episode to talk about things that people are not talking about, that being OpTicJ, a former COO as well as you could say a dear friend of Hector, one of the original members of OpTic Gaming as well. When you take a look back at all the old pictures and all the content he was a part of, it's pretty crazy to see where these two people, that being Hector and Jay, are now on their relationship, because we do have clips as well from his podcast. These guys have not even talked or exchanged texts, I should say correctly, ever since 2018, that being last year.
This?
Right.
That day, which was, I don't know, call it February.
Yeah.
Because March was the last time Jay and I exchanged text, March of 2018 or something like that.
And if that does not spell weird for you guys, well, it certainly is weird, because now you also look at the fact that he was one of the former original members alongside the owner and original founder, Hector himself, OpTic being his baby, and you look at the fact now you're in a bid war between Immortals Gaming Club and Hector and his partner, and who are they bidding for? The majority share in Infinite Entertainment, who Jay has now become the president of, and so it has led to rumors and talk from some people out there of exactly what Jay has done, what fallout has happened between these two characters. And it could be potentially Jay with the voice to allow Hector's bid to win the majority share of OpTic Gaming. And we also have confirmed sources out there, thanks to Kevin Hitt, great reporting by him throughout this entire topic. A couple weeks ago as well, he did point out the bid war is still going on, but there are personal vendettas between the two parties, which are keeping this bid war apparently in a bit of an aloof, because apparently also by rumors out there, it was actually OpTic, Hecz and his partners making a alleged right now, a bigger bid or maybe a better bid than Immortals Gaming Club did, but apparently they were not going to take his offer due to personal vendettas. And what could that vendetta be? Could it be the fallout or something behind the scenes that happened between Hector and Jay? Some people do think so. And if you watch the entire podcast, it is seemingly very, very obvious there has been some sort of fallout. Not just a clip I played you guys earlier about the fact these guys, former friends and of course co-workers with each other in OpTic Gaming, have not even talked in the last year or so, but along with that, the way he's gone about describing the way that Infinite and their president Jay had ran things once they took over, it is pretty pitiful, and it's definitely not exactly painting Jay in a good light right now. And if there is someone between these two that's affected the obvious bid going on right now between Hector and his partner, that would be utterly shocking. I highly doubt we will ever know the background of these two and what exactly happened, because I don't think, even if OpTic Gaming were to lose their bid, that Hector, that being Hector, to actually retain the name itself, and they don't win their bid and it becomes Immortals Gaming Club, I do not think Hector's the kind of person to come forward and say exactly what happened and what the fallout was and who was a potential snake in actually all of this happening. We may never know the details about what happened between these two, what sort of fallout, what sort of fight did happen. If he even has the voice to stop Hector's bid is the real thing I want to touch on, because there are a lot of OpTic commenters out there taking away at Jay, and we have no idea what his role in Infinite gives him in terms of a voice to actually stop Hector's bid and eventually maybe potentially stop the OpTic Gaming name from being in esports altogether. It just seems incredibly, I would not even say poetic, it seems incredibly terrifying, the fact that he was once a COO of OpTic Gaming. Obviously something happened between him and Hector. He then became the president of Infinite Entertainment. Alongside that, though, one of the original founding members of OpTic Gaming could even be the voice which stops OpTic Gaming from being in esports altogether. I do want to defend Jay in one instance, though, with these tweets on screen for all of you guys. He is the president of Infinite Entertainment. That does not mean, though, he has the power to accept or, of course, take on those bids. That likely comes to an entire board, not just one member. So people out there targeting Jay and saying he is the reason for this, we will never know if that's the case unless either Jay comes forward about this, or Hector does as well, but there is certainly something happening between both these characters, and it's crazy to see what has now become of one of the original members of OpTic Gaming, and he could be the reason for the stop of the name being in esports altogether. Or he could have had some role in it, and again, we will likely never know. So I do want to defend Jay, but I also want to bring it out there, the fact that the facts are all right in front of us in terms of what has become of both these characters. Hector losing his majority ownership and now trying to bid back for his OpTic Gaming name, and then we have Jay, pretty much a very high up member for Infinite. Although he might not have the sole power to do so and take and reject bids, he could have a voice in doing so. And just the thought of that, it's pretty crazy that if it does come to a personal vendetta to stopping Hector's bid, we will have to wait for more details to come out about this. And speaking of details, as of this morning, just a couple hours ago, guys, a brand new article and apparently a close source to this transaction has leaked some information about this, and it does spell what seemingly will be the end of the OpTic Gaming brand. I'll show you guys, of course, some screenshots on screen which clarify this and what the source has said about the situation, pretty much stating there was a $20 million debt on top of the tab of actually buying out the majority ownership. So whoever does buy it out has to, of course, pay that $20 million, and that makes a lot of sense exactly why these transactions were so rushed, right? We heard about this 2 or 3 weeks ago, and all of a sudden an entire esports brand is being rebranded or resold within such a short amount of time. That is because there's an outlying debt currently on the tab of that being OpTic Gaming or Infinite Entertainment of $20 million, and so the buyer of said organization or said ownership will have to pay that tab as well as any other fees they do come along with. So also in the article as well, very sad enough, apparently it was Hector and his partner offering a laughable amount, and therefore it's expected Immortals Gaming Club will take over the OpTic Gaming brand and all of their said teams whilst also paying their $20 million debt. I know it's incredibly sad news. I will of course bring you guys updates sometime soon as we do finalize these offers going down. It should be done sometime this week, but will there be other details coming out about Hector and Jay? I highly doubt it. It's just an incredibly sad situation to come out on. As always though, I hope you guys all enjoy. I'll be back here sometime soon breaking down further topics out there, and I'll definitely be back with a video about this if it does become true and Hector loses OpTic Gaming.